Opening things up on Ballroom, any 4 of 8 when you are ready.
Ready when you are, Tobo.
In 3, 2, 1, playing it. Catnip opening things off on the spy side, Varonas on the sniper. Looked like we were gonna get joined by the seduction target right away, but unfortunately was not to be.
Yeah, Catnip and Varonas both inactive from the previous SEL 5 season. Now rejoining for Summer Cup, so both very experienced, have a ton of games, each have over 5,000. But they haven't played in quite some time, so will they be able to shake off the rust, or who can do it first, I think is going to be the key part here.
Early green test coming out of Catnip for 51% just before the seduction target steps away, so that's always nice to see when your seduction target starts moving as soon as you get the flirt off, because it means the timer goes down real fast.
Yeah, we're also in a great position to reverse bug here. We have Twin and the Pillar as cover, so if the Amba comes by, no, we just leave. Could have sat there and waited for a reverse bug, but choose to get Inspects instead.
Getting highlight for the statue visit as we step into side statues here. Gonna
Yeah,
get
Varonas.
our...
Varonas is a pretty standard player when it comes to statue goers. If you go there, you get a highlight. He's gonna remember that you were there, so then you have to play with that. Makes it tougher to get other missions done.
Not quite in range for a 2-flirt, I don't think. Hits the green test and only gets to 97. That hurts me a bit.
Yeah, we would have liked if we were going to 2-flirt anyways, we might as well stand a little farther away. A little unfortunate there, but we're still doing just another position to reverse bug actually if we want it. Amba doesn't give it to us though.
Shame, shame. Looks like we might be hanging out here for a little while, banging on the time. Never mind, it looks like we're heading back into statues to pick up that last inspect that we couldn't get the first time around.
This also, I believe, has a print on it, so that will be very nice for that completion. Amba also goes to another statue, so it might look a little innocuous if we want to go to a second statue visit, especially since we've already completed it.
Yeah, that would be certainly be very nice. We'll see how long that print stays hot for. We're going to want to let it sit for a while so it's not too suspicious going right afterwards. But if it's still around, like in 30 seconds or so, that could absolutely be a great way to finish off the game. Stepping into conversation with the double agent, picking up the contact here. Very strong contact. I think there are only 3, maybe 4 lowlights available.
Yeah, and then 2 split afterwards, which makes it pretty difficult for Varonas. He actually didn't get all of the lowlights he could have taken there, but the 2 splitters made it pretty difficult. They were both AI, so makes it kind of difficult to make a correct judgment there.
Isn't able to hit the bug, and time is starting to tick down. We've got 35 seconds left as we step into blue bookcase. To get the last fingerprint off the case instead of from the statue, all we need now is the 1 flirt, and that's going to be game. 20 seconds.
Now we wish we were those couple pixels shorter. We enter. Is this gonna kill us? The laser's hovering over us.
Oh, it doesn't look like he's gonna take the shot. He's zoomed out, looking around the party, and Catnip takes game number 1 from the spy side.
That really looked like Varonas was contemplating it with that quick talk at the end. Yeah, Catnip really wanted that close flirt earlier, now regretting it. And Varonas almost came back there. That was pretty difficult. Catnip also almost got an amazing bug there too. But did not collide with the Amba, and then moving a little bit too fast. But still, very nice, well-played game from Catnip there.
Yeah, nice, innocuous fingerprints. Not always an easy thing to catch, especially for the older hands who are not necessarily as used to the mission as some, even though it has been out for quite a while. Let's see how Varonas is able to answer back from the spy side in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Now, out of all these maps, Ballroom definitely has the most, I would say, spy agency, has definitely the strongest spy win rate. So Varonas looking to come back here. Also, this position's not quite as good to reverse bug. The left arm would have stuck out in the window, so Varonas wisely choosing not to take it.
34% on the flirt and in conversation with the double agent.
Yeah, right now the conversations are forming towards the left side, so maybe we want to consider doing something with a blue microphone. We have a lot of cover for that blue book right now if we want to go for that. Also, the
We
conversations are full, so yeah, BB is going to be sounded off here.
Here's the contact. 4 lowlights available, I think. Unfortunately, one of those is the suspected double agent.
Yeah, fortunately we didn't take all of them that we could have. Got a little bit lucky there by Varonas. Catnip had 2 more lowlights they could have taken. Fortunately, we don't get punished too hard. Now we have it down to about 8 or so people. It's definitely manageable still for Ballroom.
4 lowlights on the board, though, is not too bad. Catnip. Varonas, sorry. Pulls out a blue book, steps back into conversation with the selection target, and is able to hit a green test on this one to head up to 85%. And the question is this a book we do anything with?
It's possible. I think the left CC giving plenty of cover. It's possible the book was not seen. Although now Catnip might see the book just out in the open and might have made a decision that it was blue. It's not quite hidden from the sniper, so we'll have to see if what Varonas wants to do though. Although I do think that microphone could be good, especially with the amount of left cover we had earlier.
Looked like Varonas wanted to get a timer flirt there, but the selection target wasn't quite having it. Under a minute and a half left to play. Lots of progress. No fingerprints.
Good old mind control to help the ST get back to where they belong. You know, nothing
Oh,
like a good old top player mind control to help the spy out.
absolutely. That'll get the flirt done. Just over a minute left to play. We've got to find a hard tell somewhere because fingerprint is going to be very difficult with such little time left. Oh, it looked like you wanted to go for the hard transfer there, but not able to get in time as the spot gets stolen. Now we're into the green bookcase to put this away, and it does not look like Catnip is reacting.
Yeah, we're going to sit here for a little bit, make sure that our return is reasonable. If you're an AI, they return the book for 3 reading animation cycles. They turn the page over in their hand. So Varonas taking his time to make sure that's done properly.
Risky little bug attempt does not come off and gets caught as well. Catnip with an early lead, and as you were saying earlier, any lead in a match this short is very big indeed.
That was a very nice catch by Catnip there. That hand is very difficult to see with Irish's walking bug, so that was a very, very nice catch. That was really well done. Even though it
Yeah,
missed, it was still really well caught.
that was a good bug, too. There really wasn't much showing from the sniper side.
Yeah, the only thing maybe Varonas could have done there is sit next to the Amba in the standing bug range, and then go for that since you would have a pillar blocking you. But besides that, I don't know. When you go for an Irish walking bug, you expect it to work most of the.
Very good catch by Catnip, and she is back on the spy side of things with a 2-0 lead stepping into Courtyard in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
And Courtyard, I would say, is a map that if you're pretty rusty on, it's going to be quite difficult. Because if you miss the hardtail, the game is literally over. So if you're rusty at all and you miss the hardtail, then you're down 3-0 and it's a tough position.
Yeah, the standard meta on this map very much relies on having a good sniper lockdown on things. Catnip able to pick up 51% off the early flirt to start out the game, and since then has just been hanging out.
We might have an opportunity to cheese. Not anymore. We could have went to the side with the. It would have been the left turn stat where the Amba and Toby weren't. That's a big thing to look out for on Courtyard. Might be able to get some cheese by the sniper if Toby and Amba are both on one side, like they are now, for example.
Into the windows to pick up a purloin, but it's a white test! It's so extremely on camera. You can really tell Varonas is onto this. Immediate reaction, highlights and lowlights coming off. Not as much as I was expecting, though.
Yeah, a little weak reaction, but white purloin on this map is pretty devastating because any angle is good. And yeah, Catnip wisely reads the suspicion, picks a spot far away from her ST, and does a fake. Really, really smart there to try to get some heat off. Maybe get Varanas into shooting a Civ if they go inspect or something.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Catnip is far and away the top suspect. Maybe not as good of a lockdown on the rest of the reject chain as it could have been, but this is still a very good position for Varonas.
I mean, we're not looking at Catnip, we're looking at Disney right now. And oh, we just we just
Oh
shoot Disney.
my!
Yeah. It
I
looks like
stand corrected.
there that Disney did an idle animation reset, which actually is an anti-tell. You can low light AI that do this, that reset their animation in conversation like this, but it might have looked like maybe Varanus thought that was a reverse bug. I don't think Disney had another print, so I think he might have just thought, hey, that was a bug, I gotta shoot for it.
I guess it must have been. Didn't wind up being the right shot, so Catnip, now with a huge lead, just needs one more game in the entire set to force at least a draw. Varonas can't get those coveted 3 points unless he completely wins out here. Starting from the from the spy side of Courtyard. In 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Again on Courtyard, gonna look for chances to cheese. If you're behind, getting this a strong sniper win by might be good. Oh, we just go for this purloin, and it's white. Ah!
Speaking of cheese, is Catnip on it?
Not an immediate
No.
reaction. That's very promising, especially on a white purloin.
There's the contact. If there's no shot yet, I think Varonas is in a commanding position in this game.
Yeah, the only issue is that there were only 3 people with the real banana bread. The SDA was out. So if Catnip's on top of this, she might just have it down to 3 people that have real BB. And that could be devastating for Varanus. But we're
It
not
could be.
highlight, so it could be a lot worse. White purloin on Courtyard is often a death sentence, as we just saw.
Yeah, getting away with a white purloin is massive. Catnip could still be in this, but it's certainly not going to be an easy shot to take as Varonas picks up 51% off the first flirt. Still no statue visit, 2 minutes left to play.
Yeah, and you can see Catnip there bringing back a low light that went to statues, so definitely contemplating. We might die if we go to statues if she's desperate enough. It really just depends on how far behind she feels, and she might just trust her instincts to shoot somebody that 2 cycles statue, maybe.
Maybe, but in a situation like this, you want to go to statues earlier if possible.
Yeah,
Another option is you could just sit and wait and hit a contact, like another fake contact right here, get a lot of suspects in there, and just let Catnip take a shot. Because when there's a hardtail showing on this map, the shot comes off! Catnip is on things better than she let on. And it is 4-0. Now, I believe no matter what the outcome here, we're still going to play all 8 games just for tiebreaker purposes, but Catnip has already secured at least a draw.
yeah. Looking back at when the purloin was taken, if you look at like 3 minutes, you can kind of see Catnip's laser react to the purloin, so that might have led on more than we really knew about it since no highlight came off, but that reaction with the laser, pretty visceral that she at least saw the BB and then at least knew Leopard, Duke, and Queen had real BB and had it down to those 3 at the very least.
So Catnip playing a very patient game. That is the kind of thing you see from the old guard, the really high-level players that don't feel like they need to take a shot until they know they need to take a shot. This is some powerful play coming out of Catnip, and so far, Varonas has not had an answer. It's gotta start here from the sniper side of Library. In 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Still AI controlled at the books. We do take control finally at the blue books. Not going to immediately cheese it, although that is certainly a viable play. We do take it out after a little bit of waiting.
No cheese early, not giving Varonas anything to grab onto in the early game, but does have a blue book out in the wild.
Yeah, and we've started off all the way over to the right, so if Varonas hasn't seen this blue book, then he
Oh
might just
no!
assume it's yellow or green if it's this far to the right already.
Boots, come back! Why do you do this? Oh well, I guess we're not getting that flirt after all. But the double
Unfortunately,
agent does drop in to say hi and give his condolences.
yep, Varonas right now, she looks like she's on top of the party so far, making sure she's flicking through everything, so that seems pretty promising. And this is another one where Rust can get the better of you. You really do need to have very good mouse control as you scan the entire map. If you hang out in one spot too long, you'll end up losing the game. So Varonas right now,
Very,
she's looking decent as the sniper.
very solid contact coming out of Catnip, only letting off 3 lowlights. Varonas did a pretty good job reacting to that, too. There were just so many people in conversation, there wasn't much to pick up. Catnip, now into the yellow bookcase, going to put this book away clean.
Yeah,
Microfilm is done.
Varonas, she's not going to really expect that. If she saw the book, she might have assumed, oh, it was from the right side, it must be yellow, maybe it's green. So Catnip not getting any suspicion for that. 2:30 on the clock, though. We have no seduce, though, so we might be a little behind right now.
Chilling at the back windows for a second, going for a time ad on a white test as well.
Yeah, maybe
Doesn't
wanting to
look
make up
like
the
Varonas
seduce.
noticed.
Yeah, no reaction from her. But now with this extra time, seduce is going to be much easier to get. We're not going to have to rush it as much.
Just
And
under 3 minutes to play with the time ad. First flirt coming off for 34%.
yeah, we probably want to do inspect at some point and then seduce clearly. But the question is, what's your final mission? We could do fingerprints. We do have the time to do it with the time ad. Swap is another classic favorite on library since you can block the statue almost completely from view of the sniper.
Especially if you can get to that point relatively early on. Snipers are usually very paranoid about it in the late game, but when you're before like 1 minute remaining, those alarm bells aren't quite going off yet. Catnip stepping into side statues. Oh, and just straight white swapping it immediately. The shot comes off. Varonas is not having it and finally gets herself on the board.
Yeah, very nice. That was a really nice rotation by her. She like barely saw the swap out of the corner of her eye. She was about to flick back and then saw the fade just as she was rotating. So that was a very nice catch by her. I think Catnip might have seen, oh, look at all this activity on the left side. There's just me and this and Salmon here. Maybe I'll be able to get away with a really quick swap and run. But Varanas's rotation was perfect, not getting caught out by that. And even though they've secured a draw, maybe they can still try to bring it back to a tie here on Library.
Could very well be. I think the play from Catnip there was pretending it was a green swap, which can definitely work, although probably stepped in for that a little bit early if that was the case. Either way, Varonas on the board and on the spy side in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Very nice
Ooh!
reverse bug. That was perfect.
Oh, I like it! That was pretty! It doesn't have to be pretty on this map. Sometimes you can just get away with walking up and hugging him, but that was pretty.
We had the perfect pillar cover too. That was very well done by Verona. And now that's a huge lead.
Yeah, especially so early in the game.
Yeah, usually when you get a bug that's this early and you're pretty sure it wasn't seen, oftentimes just all soft tells can be the way to go.
It wasn't a clean entry into the conversation, but we did get in there pretty under the radar. 51% on the first flirt. now stepping away very quickly as well.
Into an interesting conversation actually, which makes it a little tougher for us to just maybe we'll just leave and go right back to white dress and get our flirt on, but just wanting to seem like we're not doing any mission progress there.
Being Varonas being very clear about the fact that she is not bugging the ambassador right now. Back in conversation with the seduction target.
Yeah, after you get that amazing bug, you just want to go nowhere near the ambassador ever again. No reason to get credited for a bug you already have. And now the CC looks amazing for contact. Although there are quite a few people out on the left side, the CC being full might just tempt Varonas. We'll see what she decides to do though.
Second green test comes in on the flirt, and that is mission done. 2 minutes and 45 seconds to play, and Varonas takes the contact and is making good time. 3-4 lowlights.
Not bad at all for library, but Varonas right now so far ahead with that clean bug.
This is looking good for Varonas so far. Stepping into side statues here, looking for a pair of inspects to start rounding out some of the progress. But as you were saying, where is this last mission coming from?
Maybe swap at this point. Fingerprint's a little late to start. I mean, there is a fingerprintable drink that just got taken, so that is a choice for us.
We could just step over statue to statue and inspect swap right now, but Varonas does not seem to want to go that direction.
Yeah, that play can sort of seem telegraphed at this level. That it does get done quite a lot on library. The complete inspects into swap. So Varonas decides to delay it just for a little bit. Maybe make it a little less subtle.
Here we go. Oh, swap first!
Catnip's not even looking. We haven't seen there. We finally seen Queen at the statue. The statue's
Oh,
in view.
there's the lift in a bad moment. I don't think Catnip got a good enough look at that to realize it was a different statue, and Varonas picks up 2 in a row. It's 4-2.
There was one moment there where I feel like it was visible, yeah, 126.3. That you can barely just see the statue. Unfortunately, Catnip just not quite sure about, and then decided to wait just that little bit longer. And since we did get the swap off first, gave us even more time to do the swap block, and Varonas didn't even have to move before showing that the swap had finally happened.
Yeah, it was a scary play, but it was a strong one, and with that much time left over, Catnip just wasn't quite ready to take that shot yet. And now we step into the final map of the match, final venue of the match, sorry. We're going to high-rise any 3 of 5 for a very different feeling game for the last 2. Catnip needs one of these 2 games to secure herself a win. Varonas still fighting for the draw in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
And out of all the maps here, I think if you're not really prepared for it, it's going to be very difficult. AI do complete quite regularly with like 1 print and a half print often. Plus BB is the most common type of finish. So being able to deduce whether or not an AI is done or if they're just being an AI is really huge here.
AI control brings Catnip to the statues, and she's going to grab a pair of inspects while she's there. Now stepping into the conversation with the seduction target and taking the highlight for the statue visit. Everything is going as expected so far as we pick up the first flirt for 51%.
Relatively sneaky highlight there by Varonas not flicking his laser over there, so Catnip might play under the assumption they're not highlighted. Although, if they've done any research at all, they probably know Varonas highlights for statues. This BB is actually looking amazing. Not anymore.
That might make Catnip think that she got away with that statue without really being noticed. Even if it's a low percentage, it's a nice little play from Varonas.
Yeah, it can occasionally work if you don't highlight for statues, for example. They might just think, oh, they just missed me completely at the statues, and if I go to another set, then they'll only think I'll have one or 2 inspects done.
Second flirt comes off for 85%. Contact comes off as well. 1 low light. That is a good contact.
Yeah, we did make an interesting decision to flirt and then BB during our talk, but I think the opportunity to BB was just so good that Catnip didn't want to wait any longer for a better chance. That was just never going to get any better.
That is a hard tell, but it's not an easy one to spot, especially if you're not looking for it.
Looks like we're just going to timer flirt here. The real question is, what are we going to do for our last mission?
Oh, hi. Look at the zoom! It's like, nope, I am not letting that bug happen.
Yeah,
There's the
you can.
last flirt coming off.
Varonas actually lowlights the ambassador to make sure he can see if Catnip is bugging or not. That's kind of funny. Making
Good.
sure that he would see the highlight through the low-lit body.
That was a strong play, but the shot comes off. It's not the correct one, and Catnip has officially taken the win on this match, although we still have 1 game left to play.
Yeah, and that game will matter here. If you look at the end there at like 120 there, Irish takes a very suspicious bug path, more like 122. Irish just stands next to the end, but does a nice little collide to hide the arm perfectly. And Varonas, she just decided that was enough. Into a quick talk as well, so Varonas decided to put a bullet in her for that.
That's probably the correct shot to take. As much as it hurts to say it, sometimes SpyParty just do be like that.
Yeah, maybe if Varonas was like towards the far right side, like if you were more by the middle pillar, you could have seen the arm completely. But when you're just holding this angle straight on down higher, very difficult to ever see this type of bug.
Well, we've still got 1 more game left to play for tiebreaker purposes. Varanas on the spy side, Catnip on the sniper. In 3, 2, 1, playing it.
We got a spy win with Queen. Let's see if we can spy win with Queen again.
It's worked so far. And again, opening the game at statues.
This time without the bug. So bug is sort of off the table here. Hopefully we just become one of the highlights, although nobody unfortunately has gone to statues right now. That is a big thing on this map, is whether or not AI actually complete your softails for you when you picked inspects and prints. You really have to hope that AI gets stuff done for you, or if you become the first one to get stuff done, then you're the one taking the bullet instead of them.
Indeed. Any 3 of 5, of course, means there's some missions that are not available. In this case, it's Transfer, Swap, and Purloin that are off. Here's the Contact coming off.
Banana bread.
We were in a just close enough to bug there, I believe, in standing bug range. Maybe Varonas was looking for a contact bug play, but unfortunately when we hit the white tag and Tex invaded Amba's personal space, Varonas did not get that opportunity to pull that off.
Yeah, it just didn't quite work out, but the Contact is off. We've got 2 inspects, 22% on the flirt, which is not a great number, but it's something at least. Oh, that's so close.
It's so tempting, but this is not a flirt you want to go for. Yeah, Varonas wisely, she decides not to take that. If you go flirt right there, you're going to easily get flirt paired, even if you're not playing somebody that flirt pairs often, and Catnip will. That is going to be the most obvious flirt in the world, and it's only going to be your second. You're still going to have to get 1 more.
Indeed. Minute and 45 on the clock. That might be in bug range, but
Yeah,
it's a little bit exposed. We're at a bit of a weird angle here. Not a good bug to take, I don't think.
yeah. The issue is Varonas, she knows she's highlit, so that sort of bug would just not work. It would be really nice if it did, but the main issue is that Catnip would very likely see it.
The shot came off before the bug even happened.
Yeah, Just for inspects, it seems like first AI to get the soft tails done gets the bullet. So that
Yep.
AI, unfortunately, the character here, unfortunately, is the poor spy. But we do a little bug dance in the wake of our death.
And that is going to be one match in the books. Catnip taking it over Varonas 6-2.